I watched him smile as he gave his wedding toast, so smooth, so damn convincing. His hand on my daughter's waist, his voice oozing charm. Everyone laughed, clapped. My daughter beamed like a fool in love. I saw something else, something they didn't, the mask. And I stayed quiet. 3 days after the wedding, he showed up at my door with a notary. No hello, no preamble, just a thick manila envelope and a smug smile that barely hid the hunger in his eyes. Just need your signature, Dad. Power of attorney, financial coordination. You know how it is. Family now. Family. I almost laughed. Instead, I blinked, looked down at the papers, and asked, "Where's my daughter?" He chuckled. Spa day, girls' trip. Figured I'd take care of business for her, save her the stress. I nodded slowly, lips tight. You think I'm stupid? His smile twitched, but he held it. Not at all. I think you're generous. I didn't sign. I didn't argue either. I just told him I'd think about it. He left with a confident shrug. I closed the door. Then I locked it, emotionless, controlled. That's when the real story began. I met my wife when I had nothing. She was old money, but unlike her circle, she wasn't cold. She taught me how to build, how to watch people, how to listen without reacting. She made me the kind of man who didn't need to raise his voice to win. She also made sure our daughter grew up kind, sheltered, untouched by the weight of wealth. We agreed, no trust fund until she was ready, no exposure to vultures. When my wife died, I inherited everything. Quietly. A multi-million-dollar estate, properties, stocks, legacy. I said nothing to anyone, not even my daughter. Not because I didn't trust her, I didn't trust who she trusted. And I was right. The first time I met him, I shook his hand and felt the weakness in his grip, the kind that tries to squeeze too hard to compensate. Overcompensating men always crumble. I watched him flatter me, mimic my words. He thought if he called me, sir, and talked about generational wealth, I'd like him. I didn't. I just watched. The months passed, their relationship bloomed, and I noticed patterns. He paid for nothing, ever. She bought the groceries, the furniture, the plane tickets. He'd say things like, "I'll pay you back once this bonus hits," or "Money's tight while I'm building my portfolio." Classic phrases built on sand. But she was in love. And love doesn't calculate receipts. I did. The night before the wedding, I called my lawyer and rewrote my will. Everything went into a trust, locked, sealed, managed by someone who knew what a predator looked like in a tailored suit. I also hired a private investigator. What he found? Enough to boil blood. My charming son-in-law wasn't just broke, he was bankrupt. Owed money in 3 states, had a previous marriage annulled under fraudulent misrepresentation, even tried to marry an older widow who died before she could change her will. I made copies, dossiers, bank records. I created a file so clean, so complete that no court could miss it. Then I waited. The wedding went off without a hitch. Smiles, champagne. My daughter cried during the vows. He cried too. Fake tears. I knew the kind that come from calculating men, not broken hearts. 3 days later, the notary incident. That was his move. Now it was my turn. 2 weeks later, my daughter called me, voice quiet, confused. "Dad, did you put a prenup in our wedding documents?" "No," I said calmly. "But you should have." There was silence on the other end, then soft sniffles and the beginning of doubt. Exactly where I needed her. That night, I sent her the file. No dramatics, just the facts, bank statements, divorce records, his fake LinkedIn profiles, the fabricated job history, and a voice recording from the notary whom I'd contacted afterward. "He offered me $5,000 to get your signature without full disclosure," the notary said. He said it was a family emergency. My daughter didn't sleep that night. The next day, she came home alone. The confrontation wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. She walked in with her own copy of the file, dropped it on the kitchen table, said one word, "Explain." He sputtered, denied, said it was a smear job, a jealous vendetta, that I'd forged it all. But he made a mistake. He got angry. He cursed, called her stupid, called me a parasite. She recorded everything. Didn't say a word, just stared, then left. She filed for annulment, froze joint accounts, got a restraining order when he wouldn't stop texting. I sent the file to his creditors and his probation officer. Turns out he'd been violating terms for months. He's facing charges now, fraud, perjury, probation violations. His assets are being seized, what little he had. And my daughter? She's healing. Last week, she asked me why I never told her about the estate. I looked at her and said, because love makes you blind, and I needed to see clearly. She nodded. No argument. She understands now. Funny, isn't it? He thought marrying my daughter was a ticket to wealth. He didn't realize he was stepping into a chess game, one I've been playing for years. He played checkers. I played quietly. And I won without raising my voice, without touching a dollar. Justice doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, and sometimes it waits for the right move.